Behind every comfortable room is serious strategy. And today, we have the strategist who keeps the environment cool, quite literally. Meet Mr. Mukundan Menon, Managing Director of Voltas Limited, bringing rich expertise across the entire spectrum of HVAC products. Beyond leading one of India's most trusted cooling brands, he also serves as the President of the Refrigeration and Air Conditioning Manufacturing Association, RAMA, representing leading multinational and Indian companies in this space. With deep operational experience and steady leadership, he has built a reputation for clarity, execution, and industry-wide impact. The strategist behind the science of staying cool, Mr. Mukundan Menon.
Thank you, AV team. May I now request our session chair, Mr. Pramad Bakliwal, to escort Mr. Mukundan Menon onto the stage. May I request? To welcome someone who works to comfort millions of families today with their cooling technology, I invite Mr. Sanjeev Agrawal, Senior Vice President Operations and CHRO Impetus, to do the honors on behalf of IMA. It's an honor to have you amongst us today, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. And it's such a privilege and a pleasure to be here amongst this very esteemed crowd. First, I salute Dr. Hiranandani. Actually, it was such an inspiration to listen to you. And it was also very heartwarming to hear you talk about the founder of our group, Mr. Ratan Tata. So, what people leave behind are those memories, and it was really very, very heartwarming to listen to these stories from somebody who himself is a big legend. So thank you, Dr. Hiranandani, for those kind words. So this is my first time at the Indore Management Association, and the first thing that struck me was the magnitude and the kind of the way this is organized, probably the best in the country. I think hats off to you, you're doing a fantastic job. I think the theme for today was powering India from Earth to orbit. And it could not be more timely, more relevant, and more reflective of the extraordinary times that we are passing through, and also the extraordinary opportunities Dr. Hiranandani mentioned to us. Probably this is the best time to be, I would say, for youngsters who are beginning their career. I think there couldn't be a better time than this. Probably the best is yet to unfold for India. Because India is just not rising. The way I see it is, India is defining what rising means. We are going to change the game. and in the next few decades, we are going to be a very, very different country. We are blessed with a leadership which believes that you have to keep improving. I was also I was a member of the delegation which went with Prime Minister Modi 2 weeks ago to Malaysia. And the inspiration and the thought process that he has in terms of what needs to be done for this country, I think India couldn't be in safer hands, I can tell you. So we are a nation which has moved from hand-woven textiles, and now we talk about semiconductor fabs. A few generations ago, we were talking about bullock carts. Today, we are talking about reusable space vehicles. India was a country which was known for jugaad, and today we talk about generative AI. And what a transformation this is bringing about. Today, the topic for this session is also a little about Swadeshi, about Swabhavik, and Swanirmit. And I can give you a lot of examples of what's happening in our country in this space. I think the Indian way, the Indian engineers solve problems is very, very unique. All of you, there are quite a few businessmen and entrepreneurs in this space. The way you have defined and sort of innovated and built your businesses is very unique. These are probably not things which are taught in classrooms. And it is this mindset, this ability to innovate and keep changing that brings us to where we are today and makes us very hopeful of the future that this country has. I represent the air conditioning and the cooling industry. And I also am the president of this association, which has almost 27 manufacturers and brands in the country. Many of them are MNCs. Many of them are Indian companies. But one thing I noticed that most of the leaders in our industry keep saying and keep doing is that they say that we do not want to take an MNC technology and adapt it to India. We want to build it ground up. Because, as all of you know, India is a nation with so many different needs, diverse cultures, diverse habits. So I have seen many of my industry colleagues talk about creating products which are meant for India's zarurate and Indian aadate. Very, very unique. It's not a technology which we borrow from some other country and then adapt and make it suitable for India. So even the MNCs in India have seen work ground up in terms of creating technology and making it relevant for our members. Last week, all of you know that there was a India AI Summit which we hosted in Delhi. This is something which is going to change this industry, the country, and every single, whether it is agriculture, whether it's manufacturing, whether it is logistics, whether it is life sciences. The entire game of improving productivity, of changing processes and performance is going to be rewritten. And unlike other innovations and changes which have happened in the world over the last many decades, one starking difference will be the speed of this change. The speed of this change will probably surprise all of us. Now, as a country, how do you build artificial intelligence that reflects India's needs, India's zarurati, India's diversity, India's aspirations? As a person who is in this air conditioning industry, I can give you one very small example. 2 or 3 days ago, I was in Delhi. I had the fortune of launching India's first AI-powered air conditioner. Now, when we were developing this air conditioner, we realized what is that the Indian consumer cares about? What is that an Indian consumer really needs, rather than just use it as a very shiny toy and use it as a marketing gimmick? We built 3 features which we felt are very, very relevant to the Indian consumer of an air conditioner. Now, this is a very small example of what is going to unfold. Now, in an air conditioner, we realized that most of you know that an air conditioner is a device which works on a remote controller. It's a reactive device. You go home, you pick up the device, you set the temperature at 23 degrees centigrade, for example, with a little higher airflow because you want to cool it down fast. After a period of roughly an hour or two, you go to rest, you go to bed. You raise the temperature to 24 or 25 because you don't want it to overcool. You set the temperature higher, you set the airflow at a little lower figure. You also set the lower away from you so that the blast does not hit you directly on your bed. So we built a very simple feature that after 7 days of understanding, learning your usage pattern, your user behavior, the air conditioner starts doing all this on its own. It sets the temperature at 23 and a higher airflow when you walk in, and after 2 hours, it changes the temperature to a higher temperature and also to a lower fan speed, moves to the different position. Now, this is convenience from a user perspective. We also realize that the Indian consumer is very, very concerned about the power bills. We are a very frugal society, a developing country, obviously, very careful with the kind of money that we spend on any of these comforts that we use. So we built something called a power and energy manager. What it does is that you can set on your remote that for the month, I would prefer my room to have an energy bill not exceeding X amount, my children's room not exceeding Y amount in terms of units. And on a daily basis, you get an update on your mobile, how your energy consumption is changing, is faring with respect to the energy level set. If you're going way ahead of the thing, you may want to revisit the temperature settings or the usage pattern. Now, again, a very Indian, a very middle-class Indian need perspective we built into the AI. Another major issue that we face is because of our tropical climate, the kind of weather that we have in many parts of India, especially in the north and central India. Temperatures rise above 45 degrees centigrade during the summer months. And that's the time when you walk into your home on a hot summer day and you realize that the air conditioner takes a long while before it cools it down. Now, what this feature which we have introduced is called geofencing. So you can set it for anywhere from 150 meters to 15 kilometers. You say 2 kilometers from the time I am going to enter my house, the air conditioner comes on. Now, it senses, the unit senses that you're within the 2 kilometer range of your house, it switches it on. The reverse applies. You've forgotten to switch it off and nobody is at home, it prompts you, you've left home without your air conditioner being switched off. Do you want to switch it off? Very, very small conveniences. So I was giving you a very small example in a very, I would say, rudimentary product like an air conditioner, what AI can do. You can imagine what it can do in a host of high technology products. The entire world is going to change, and most importantly, it's going to change very dramatically and with a speed which I think will baffle us significantly. Today we talked about the ambition of India to move into another orbit. As Dr. Hiranandani very rightly said, all of us here are leaders. All of us have a responsibility to build the India of the future. And while building the India of the future, understand this, the uniqueness of our country, very different from many of the other developed countries that we have. Very unique, not only in scale, but in terms of real conditions that exist in our country. So the business models that we build, the products that we build, the services that we build must get attuned for Indian consumers and for the culture and ethos that we represent. I think we stand at a confluence where the economic momentum that we have gained, the technological capabilities that many of our Indians have acquired, the perseverance that most Indians demonstrate, a government with a lot of, I think, a commitment to make policy enabling this growth story. I think that's been one of our biggest blessings over the last 10 to 15 years. And the pure entrepreneur energy that is there, like for example in this room is filled with that energy. And that is what will hold us and take us to the next level as we change orbits. Let me wrap up by saying that as leaders in different spheres of business, let us all together power India and take it not to the next stage, but take it to the next orbit. We have a collective responsibility, and let's do it together. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for your patience.